I worked for BTS. Kind of. Well, not really. Okay, hear me out. We Koreans take pride in anything that brings honor to our country, and BTS has hands down brought honor to us all. To those who may not be familiar, BTS is a group of 7 guys who have made their name in the music industry and history as one of the greatest bands in the world. But everyone starts somewhere, and in 2014, BTS stepped foot in the streets of LA for a variety show called American Hustle Life in LA, starring, you guessed it, BTS. These 7 Korean boys get kidnapped by some fake thugs, make music videos, perform concerts, and receive wisdom from fellow hustlers in the streets of LA. Where do I fit in all this? Well, I was doing freelance translating work for Korean TV shows, and for example, one of the shows I worked on was this variety show where a bunch of buff American wrestlers in Korean traditional clothes called hanboks showed up to travel around Korea. It was an odd sight, but I would earn about $10 for each hour of clip I would translate, and as a 13-year-old kid, that was good money for sitting in front of your computer watching wrestlers all day. At the time, I had no idea who BTS was. They've been making music for only about a year, and most of the time I was wondering who these Korean guys were and what they were doing in LA. In a clip I had to translate, one of the guys, who I later found out to be the group leader RM, short for Rat Monster, decides to walk through some sketchy alleyway in LA, and eventually he runs into this super old guy in a rocking chair. RM starts up a conversation with him and asks for his wisdom on life and hip-hop. I eventually put together a script and translated it, but man, RM was a beast for keeping a conversation with this dude because I was totally lost. What is hip-hop to you, young man? Becoming a K-pop star ain't easy, and it's one of those 1 in a million gets picked kind of stuff. It's like the purge of the best of the best. Show no weakness. The TV show translating was a short gig, but when I was 17, I got hired to be a translator at this super rich school here in Korea, and we'll call this school Minnie's Extravagant School for the Rich of Korea, or MESROC for short. And when I say rich, I mean like you need to pay $1,000 each semester just to use the school bus kind of rich. The tuition itself is over $30K per year. One day at work, I saw this Ferrari pull up, and a kid that looked 8 just casually jumped out and walked into the school. They have a school buffet, and like, everyone's just super rich. They hire teachers from America to teach all their classes in English, and it's actually a rule to speak only English during school. All the students seem to get into Ivy League schools when they graduate, and carry on the unbroken chain of wealth. The school hired a professional photographer who spoke 0 English, so that's where I came in. 허리 펴주세요. Back long? Thank you. Okay. He wants you to straighten your back. Oh. No. Head down. Okay. Look me. Look into the camera, please. Guy in the middle. Haha, that's me. I attended school picture days, Chad, you're up, and any school events such as school festivals and even prom. While working here, I became friends with this one guy. We'll call him Jay. Jay was a K-pop trainee for one of the bigger K-pop music labels, and he was super cool and we hung out a few times. At first, I had no idea he was a K-pop trainee because he kept it a secret from the entire school. But one day we were downtown waiting for the bus, and he suddenly looked at me in the eyes and said, "I'm a K-pop trainee." Bro, no way, that's so cool. Are you gonna be famous? I asked him what it was like being a K-pop trainee, and he said it's insanely difficult. The trainees are divided into groups by their skill levels, and they have monthly checkups on their performance skill sets, such as singing, dancing, or rapping, and you're either dropped or you're promoted up to the next group level until you make your way to the top and get to debut. Jay was a busy guy, balancing school with his training, but we'd hang out when he'd have the time, and whenever we would go to the karaoke, he would bust out his crazy singing skills. It turned out he wasn't the only K-pop star trainee in the school. During yearbook picture week, the photographer and I were set up at the front of the gym, and I had some free time, so I was just chilling by myself when a group of kids my age came into the gym for PE. A few guys came over and kept me company, and this one super nice kid was like, "Hey, you see that girl over there?" I looked at where he was pointing at and spotted this girl at the side of the gym with her friend. He was like, "You know that K-pop survival program they're doing on TV? Well, she's in it. You should totally go talk to her." I was like, Okay. I have no idea where my confidence came from. Usually when I talk to a girl, my mind goes blank and I decide to admire from afar. But I walked over to her, and as soon as she spots me, she says, "Hey," and her friend just disappears. "Hey, I heard you were on that Idol TV show. I'm a fan. That guy told you I was on the show, didn't he? I didn't go very far." "Well, I've never met a celebrity before, and I think you're cool. We should take a picture together. I gotta brag to my friends." "Oh, okay." I'm normally a super shy dude, and I was pretty impressed with myself. But alas, my awkward body did not hesitate to let me down. I took out my phone, and to my utter dismay, my hand just started shaking like crazy. Your hand is shaking." "It is, isn't it?" You want to take the picture? Sure, why not? "I'm so sorry. I'm nervous as heck right now." "Don't worry about it. It was nice meeting you. I'll send it to you." "Sure." Okay, so it wasn't as smooth as it could have been, and the photo actually turned out blurry. But hey, it's not every day you run into a K-pop idol. This rich school gig was pretty fun. I even went to prom. I was one of those chaperone guys, even though all the kids were basically my age or older. I helped decorate the gym and set up for prom, and I was located far out in the corner at the photo booth with my partner, the photographer. We'll call him Mr. Plume. Groups of kids came over for photos, and then the music started, and everyone just gathered at the front of the gym and stood there in a circle, not knowing what to do. So Mr. Plume was like, "Minnie, you gotta hype this party up." So no lie, I walked to the edge of the circle and just start busting out moves. What the? The prom turned out to be a success, and I kinda ended out just blending in with the crowd and hung out with all the kids. Working at Minnie's extravagant school for the rich in Korea was fun, but jobs can be difficult sometimes. And you start to learn and experience new things, and I've learned so much about life. "We're going to a cafe. Let us get you something. What would you like to drink?" "I'll have herbal tea." "Smoothie?" "Sorry, they don't have smoothies." "Hot chocolate?" "Sorry. I'll just have herbal tea too." I've had the opportunity to do a lot of translating for people, for shows, and even books and papers, but I also found myself in situations where people wanted to learn English or Korean from me. So, I've tutored people that are as young as 8 to as old as 80. One of my students was actually Mr. Plume, the photographer. There are several ways one can learn a language, but Mr. Plume wanted to use a certain language learning technique called speech shadowing. Speech shadowing is when you listen to someone speak and you repeat what they say in real time with as little delay as possible. We started with the show Modern Family, which is one of my favorite shows that portrays a family and the crazy regular day stuff that happens. And we went through the first few scenes in the first episode, repeatedly shadowing the characters' conversations over and over again. "This must be your dad. This must be your dad. No, I'm her husband. No, I'm her husband. Good job. Go again? Okay." After a few tutor sessions, Mr. Plume wanted to switch over to a really old show from the 80s called MacGyver. I had never heard of the show, but with research I found that the show was actually pretty popular in the 80s. My mom was able to back that up. This show is about a secret agent named MacGyver, and he would complete impossible top secret missions all around the world, beating up bad guys, all with the help of his big brain and his Swiss Army knife. One might say I was basically paid to watch TV shows, and yeah, in a way that's true. I was paid to watch TV shows. But along with the speech shadowing and other grammar and vocabulary teaching, I would also find the scripts for each episode in English and translate them to Korean to make it easier for him to understand it as he studied. I'm super grateful that I speak 2 languages because it has brought me opportunities I probably wouldn't have encountered, like Korean prom. Who would have thunk?